There is one narrow strip of water on the planet that controls 20% of global oil supply. And right now, it's under threat. A vessel off the coast of Oman has been attacked. At least 250 ships have dropped anchors across the Middle East Gulf and the coasts of Oman and the UAE. War risk insurers have submitted cancellation notices for policies on ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Maersk is now suspending all shipments through the Strait of Hormuz, and Brent oil prices are trading up 10% over the counter. If this situation escalates further, oil could spike to $120 or higher. Inflation could surge again, and entire sectors of the market could rotate overnight. Now, a lot of investors are going to make the mistake of calling this just an oil story. But to protect yourself and to actually profit from what comes, you have to think about this entire chain reaction. Oil leads to inflation. Inflation affects Fed policy. Fed policy affects bond yields, and bond yields affect equity valuation. So let's go ahead and dig into this, because today I'm going to break down exactly what's happening in the Strait of Hormuz, what it means for oil, inflation, and stocks, and how smart investors can position themselves before the headlines turn into panic. I'm also going to show you which stocks stand to benefit and which ones to sell immediately. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel so I can keep you up to date. Now, first, let me put you at ease. I do not believe this is going to cause some major stock market crash this week. Economically speaking, Iran's slice of the global pie is tiny. The threat is to energy markets, and that disruption will be one of supply. According to routers, Iran is notifying vessels that it is closing the Strait of Hormuz. Now, as of last week, 20 million barrels of oil per day move through this narrow passage. That is 1/5 of the world's oil market. And when choke points get squeezed, markets can move fast. Now, the Strait of Hormuz sits between Oman and Iran. It connects the Persian Gulf to the Gulf of Oman and then into the Arabian Sea. It is the single most important energy transit point on Earth. There is no substitute body of water for this level of throughput. And when markets realize that a supply artery like this is under threat, they don't wait for confirmation, they price risk immediately. After U.S. strikes on Iran, ships in the Strait began receiving warnings. As of 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, the U.S. recommended vessels avoid the Strait entirely. And what we are witnessing is operational disruption beginning in real time. Now, in J.P. Morgan's 2025 geopolitical analysis, this exact scenario was labeled the worst-case outcome in an Israel-Iran conflict. So not missile exchanges, not rhetoric, a Hormuz disruption. Now, that tells you how seriously the big institutions view this. Now, let's go ahead and talk numbers. JP Morgan estimates that a closure could push oil to $120 to $130 a barrel, which is not a small move. And at those levels, U.S. CPI inflation could spike back towards 5%. The last time inflation hit 5% was March of 2023. What was the Fed doing then? Aggressively hiking interest rates. So again, this isn't just about oil. This is about inflation, which affects bond yields, which in turn affects stock valuations. So in short, this is about the Fed being forced back into defensive posture because look, inflation is already too high. Last week's PPI report showed year-over-year inflation at 2.9%, nearly 50% above the Fed's long-term target. You see, energy shocks ripple outward. Energy feeds directly into CPI, the Consumer Price Index. According to a Federal Reserve study, every $10 move in oil adds roughly 20 basis points to inflation. Now, oil is already up about $15 from recent lows. That alone potentially adds 30 basis points to CPI. Now imagine a move to 120. It's not a headline spike. It is a macro regime shift. And markets hate regime shifts. Unless, of course, you as an investor are positioned correctly. This is why preparation matters. Because by the time oil's at $120, the easy money will be gone. By the time CPI prints come in at 5%, the repositioning has already happened. The investors who win are the ones positioned before the shock fully hits. Now, by the way, If you are ready to get serious about investing, you need to join my Black Ops trading service for just $5. You'll get an entire year of access to me and my team, including live 1 hour weekly mentoring sessions, my weekly newsletter, bonus reports, and a ton more. Because when events like this unfold, we're not reacting. We are already watching the sectors, the relative strength, the flows, the setups forming in real time. So click the link in the description, scan the QR code, go to tradewithross.com, but get signed up. Now let's continue. I want to look at who actually depends on this waterway. In 2024, Saudi Arabia accounted for 38% of total Hormuz crude flows, about 5.5 million barrels per day. Even oil that ends up in the US and Europe eventually, it passes through here. China is heavily reliant as well. This is a globally intertwined energy artery, and if it tightens, everyone feels it. So why not just reroute it? Just go around. Well, here's the problem. Hormuz is the only sea outlet for Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, and much of Saudi Arabia's production. Yes, there are pipelines, but these pipelines are limited. They cannot absorb the full flow. So when these sea lanes tighten, supply doesn't just smoothly redirect, it compresses. And compression equals price spikes. Now, estimates suggest that about 6.5 to 7.5 million barrels per day could be rerouted through pipelines, but that still leaves a roughly 65% drop in production that was flowing through the strait. And that's about 13% of global supply. A 13% global oil shock would be one of the largest supply disruptions in modern history. The world runs on seaborne crude transport, and Iran understands exactly how levered that system is. This is them applying strategic pressure, and markets are already reacting. The cost to ship 2 million barrels of crude from the Middle East to China has jumped to roughly $200,000 per day. It is the highest level since the 2020 pandemic. Shipping costs are up 584% since early January. This is not noise. This is stress entering the system. When freight spikes, it's because perceived risk is rising. Capital, the money, is pricing uncertainty. The Strait of Hormuz has never fully closed in modern history, but radar data shows oil and gas tankers are already avoiding the passage. Avoidance alone can tighten supply. You don't need a full shutdown. You just need enough fear to slow traffic, because slowed traffic becomes constrained supply, and constrained supply becomes higher prices. Now, President Trump has shown a pattern of making market-moving decisions late on Fridays. Tariffs, regime changes, black bagging foreign dictators, always on a Friday night. And these weekend headlines create volatility when futures markets reopen Sunday night. But this volatility creates opportunity. So here is what investors should be watching. Are we seeing signs of deal-making or escalation? Any sign that Iran is backing down, and this will be nothing but a brief flare-up. Oil will spike Sunday, maybe Monday, and then quickly fade back down. If, however, military actions escalate, if this shapes up to be the beginning of something prolonged, here's what we're looking at. Higher oil prices, higher inflation, sector rotation into energy, and pressure on rate-sensitive equities. So now that we know what's happening, how do we position for it? Well, the catastrophic event scenario causes a domino effect. If oil spikes toward $120, $130 a barrel, like some worst-case estimates suggest, upstream producers benefit most. That's ExxonMobil, ticker XOM, Chevron, ConocoPhillips, even EOG Resources. Now, the reason they benefit is that higher crude prices equal wider margins, and wider margins equal higher profit. U.S. producers are not dependent on the Hormuz transit. Free cash flow will expand rapidly at $100+ oil. And in a true supply shock, these stocks often move before the broader market reacts. Now, if high oil prices persist, if this goes on for a while, exploration and drilling budgets will rise, and that will cause the second wave of beneficiaries. Midstream companies like Schlumberger, ticker SLB, and Halliburton, HAL. Now, I recommended option trades on this channel on these stocks following the Venezuelan situation last month. And those of you who took them are already up nicely, but they could have much further to go. Now, additionally, if military engagement escalates, defense contractors typically catch a bid. Now, personally, I have a hard time with these stocks. Something just doesn't sit right with me, profiting from war. But for those of you with some moral flexibility, war typically means higher defense spending expectations. That's going to be companies like Lockheed Martin, ticker LMT, Raytheon, RTX, Northrop Grumman, and General Dynamics. These stand to benefit. And of course, if oil pushes inflation higher, gold will benefit as well. Now, in addition, certain sectors will struggle due to higher energy prices. And the big one here is airlines. Fuel accounts for 20 to 30% of airline expenses. So stocks like Delta, DAL, American Airlines, Southwest, these will come under pressure. Now, airlines are some of my least favorite investments personally, but if you are heavily exposed, consider trimming these positions. Folks, this is not just a headline story. This is a macro inflection point. When supply arteries tighten, markets reprice quickly. And when markets reprice quickly, the prepared investor is the one who wins. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And again, that Black Ops deal is still going on. $5 for the whole year. Live 1-hour mentoring sessions every week with me. My weekly newsletter, indicators, bonus reports, access to my team, tons of stuff. Seriously, just $5. Go to tradewithross.com, scan the QR code, get signed up, and I'll see you in the next video.